Got room for one more?
Are you gonna bark all day, little doggy? Or are you gonna bite?
What's your name?
Django.
Then you're exactly the one I'm looking for.
Each and every man under my command owes me 100 net scouts. And I want my scouts.
My ass may be dumb, but I ain't no dumbass.
This is my world. In my world, you gotta get dirty. So that's what I'm doing. I'm getting dirty.
Come on, let's get in character.
You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? You know, for a second there? Yeah, I kind of did.
You starting to see pictures, ain't you?
Oh, well, shit fire!
Hello everyone, happy 2016. I hope your holiday season was marvelous. I hope you saw some great movies. We got some good ones in the theater right now and awesome ones coming their way. Right now we're going to talk about Quentin Tarantino's 8th film, The Hateful Eight. I went into Hateful Eight with big expectations, and of course I would because I'm a Tarantino fan. I was at the right age when Pulp Fiction came out, that I was already a big film lover, but Pulp Fiction in a way was one of those films that opened my eyes to what movies could be, how much more they could be. It had a very unique artistic way about it, and that's what impressed me so much, and it made me want to write movies. It got me excited about dialogue. It got me excited about character. And that's one thing I want to touch on. Tarantino's characters are stretched out so big and so bombastic that they almost cross the line into cartoonish, but not. He's able to hold them back just a bit. Sometimes if he crosses the line a little bit, that's what turns people off, but he does really hold back, and I love the way he fleshes out the characters, and this film was no different. Now, before we get into The Hateful Eight, let's just scroll down what this director has done real quick, in case you've lived under a rock and you don't know, hey, have I seen a Tarantino film? Probably you have. We got Reservoir Dogs out the gate, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained, then The Hateful Eight. Django Unchained has got to be up there for me. I can't really rank my Tarantino films, but I had high expectations after getting out of Django, and that he's doing another Western. I'm very excited about it. This movie was not like Django Unchained. It's a little bit different, and like a lot of critics are saying, this depends on what kind of Tarantino fan that you are. He has different versions to him. Inglourious Bastards, for example, had a lot to do on dialogue, not so much action. Even though it's about a band of rogue Nazi killers, it's more about just the dialogue and the tension in that. Kill Bill is pretty much all action. Pulp Fiction's good mix of everything. Hateful Eight is definitely more the dialogue. You do get into some action stuff, but that's mostly third act things, and I'm not going to spoil anything because you could spoil this film for someone because it's a whodunit. It's a game of Clue. You were on the edge of your seat. You've got this winter mountain and a blizzard is coming. You've got a handful of bounty hunters taking their bounties to this town. They can't get there and beat the blizzard, so they have to stop at this cabin and stay there for a few days with these other nefarious characters lurking around in there. And you don't know who. There's no real good guy, bad guy. You don't know who's fighting for themselves, who's in cahoots with someone else. There's a mystery. They're all trying to figure out. It's cold. On the soundstage, they shot the cabin scenes in. I heard that they actually turned it down to below freezing, so you feel cold in this cabin with them. You feel like, oh my gosh, it's just an uncomfortable but very satisfying feeling in this film where you're just on the edge and looking around and you're just wondering who did what and who's gonna do what and who's gonna say what. Okay, let's talk about these characters. The dialogue in this film are awesome, so you're gonna have some awesome actors. You got Samuel L. Jackson, who's done so much work with Tarantino. He's fantastic in this movie. He's great in everything. I've never seen Samuel L. Jackson really do badly. Even if it's a bad film, he's still great in it. Kurt Russell reminds me of how much I love Kurt Russell. All the way to Tombstone, all the way back to Overboard. That guy guy comes back in this movie. Just, I guess he's not come back, he's still been doing things, but he was great. His character is awesome, and him and Samuel L. Jackson's characters are very well realized, and I can't put one above the other. But Kurt Russell, man, you had some great stuff in this. Cracked me up. You were awesome. Jennifer Jason Leigh, good God, man, woman, you really blew out the park with your portrayal. She plays this just, she hardly speaks in the movie, but what she does is just such a carefree, fun role, and you can see all these actors having a great time with each other. Walton Goggins. Now, Walter Goggins is new to me, but he was in Django Unchained, and he played his role very well. He was a serviceable character. He played it very well. Very good. But when he showed up in this movie, I'm like, oh, Tarantino likes to use his friends. I wasn't really impressed with this guy. But after this movie, this guy has a great role, and he crushed it. Really good work with this guy. I want to see him in more things. We got my beloved Tim Roth. Tim Roth has gone back with Tarantino all the way back to the old days and to the beginning of it all. Tim Roth is just fantastic. I think he's completely underrated. He's one of those Gary Oldman actors who can play anything and anybody, and the character he's doing in this is just so sniveling and just I love it. I love everything Tim Roth does. That guy is just awesome, and you can tell, again, he's having a great time making this movie. You've got Michael Madsen, who's been all the way since Reservoir Dogs, right there with Tim Roth. Michael Madsen's great. I pretty much only like Michael Madsen in Tarantino movies. Bruce Dern, shows up in this and plays an old guy. You needed an old guy, you cast Bruce Dern, can't go bad with that, and Bruce Dern did a fantastic job. Channing Tatum shows up in this. Okay, girls, calm down. He's not in a lot of it. And I can say that without spoiling it. Hey, I was like, why is he in this film? But when it gets going, he's very charming. He plays this role really well, and I'm glad that he cast Channing Tatum, and I liked his role. So this movie just had you on the edge of your seat. You don't know what's going to happen. Ennio Morricone is one of the most well-known composers in film history. This guy has been around since 1915 with Fistful of Dollars, The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Wah, wah, wah. That's right, that was him. Also, Once Upon a Time in the West, he has 530 composing credits to his name. Tarantino pulled him out of retirement to do this film, and the music just is chilling down your neck. Just from the very beginning, there's a long opening credit session, so that is very enjoyable, and he just keeps raising the stakes with the music, and the music plays a big role in this, and it just really makes you feel like you're watching one of these older Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, like spaghetti western films. Great stuff. So guys, this is a Tarantino film. I'm a huge fan, but it wasn't one of my favorite. It was not better than Django Unchained to me. Personally, I like Pulp Fiction is number one. Then I've got Reservoir Dogs. Then I've got Django Unchained. But Django Unchained might be tied with Reservoir Dogs. I don't know. They kind of move around. But that's where they are. But Hateful Eight is above a lot of other things. Hateful Eight, I would say, is probably above Kill Bill for me. It's probably above Inglourious Basterds. I'm not much for the whole just dialogue stuff. But this movie is mostly dialogue based. But I just fell in love with the characters. Great job. So, for what it is, for a Tarantino film, for a movie in general, in my opinion, I'm going to give this movie a B-, but that's not making it that it does get a little long in some parts. It is a little long and drawn out. There are some dialogue moments that are just, they don't move the story. They're more of just character involvement, and that was enjoyable for me, but it might not be enjoyable for you, so I'm afraid it might hurt the film, so that's why I just give it a B-. Still, hey, B- is a great place, guys, I think. So, guys, have you seen Hateful Eight? What else have you seen? What is your favorite Tarantino film? Write down below, comment, and let me get back to you. Let's talk about this. Argue with me, whatever. And don't forget to hit subscribe. I'll have more videos coming out to you on my channel. Thanks for stopping by, guys, and as always, these are just my opinions. They're not written in stone, because what the heck do I know?